Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a sponsored review of the project Cocos BCX. I think the whole concept of bringing the blockchain into the gaming industry is extremely interesting and could prove very useful, so I wanted to do some research on the project. In the spirit of transparency, Cocos is not in my portfolio. I do not hold their tokens. Quick reminder to everyone watching, if you haven't hit that like button yet or that subscribe button, please do so. Also, if you haven't heard, myself and a bunch of other awesome content creators like CryptoLark, CryptoZombie, Danny from Crypto99, Heidi from Crypto Tips, and a bunch of others are collaborating on a crypto newsletter. We released the first issue for free. I'll leave the link down below so you guys can access it if you'd like. And if you want to subscribe for it monthly, you can do so right on the same website. My normal friendly disclaimer is that I am not a financial advisor. All investments have inherent risk, and please always do your own research. Cocos BCX is a decentralized gaming and digital assets development platform built with the Cocos engine. Cocos BCX is actually the third component of a pre-existing company that was founded by the creators of Coco 2DX, which is the top game engine in Asia and one of the largest game engines worldwide by market share. The Cocos family includes Cocos 2DX, Cocos Creator, Andy SDK, SDK Box, and others. They boast one of the largest gaming developer communities with 1.1 million developers. Some of the most well-known games that they've been involved with are Angry Birds, Badlands, and Clash of Kings. The BCX portion of their name is an acronym for Blockchain Expedition. They want to create an easy-to-use operating infrastructure for game developers, the majority of whom are not familiar with decentralized applications or the intricacies of blockchain technology. The team has reportedly received $40 million in seed funding from leading blockchain companies and investors, including Neo Global Capital, 500 Startups, Binance Labs, and many others. Let's move on to the team and the project history. The project was founded by two individuals in November of 2017, Heyozi Chen and Richard Yang. Heyozi is a serial internet entrepreneur of 20 years in China, with extensive experience in global gaming and in the developing community since 2009. He founded Kokong Technology, a leading Chinese game development and publisher operations in the US, Japan, and Korea. Richard Yang has 14 years of experience in technology entrepreneurship and investment. He co-founded a leading live streaming platform in China in 2005 that later merged with a Chinese-listed company with a combined market capitalization of $5 billion in US dollars. As far as the ICO goes, Cocos is not doing a public sale or ICO. However, they did note that they are reserving a portion of their tokens for game developers and players themselves. More information is to be released on that in the future, but what we do know is that Cocos BCX tokens will be an ERC20 token, meaning they can be stored on Ethereum wallets. Eventually, Cocos will transfer the ERC20 tokens over to their blockchain, but this is a ways down the road. The token itself will have three core functions: a medium of exchange, proof of stake within the Cocos chain, and the governance of Cocos BCX. 82% of the Cocos tokens are allocated for development of their platform initially. Of that 82%, 38.6% are reserved for delegated proof of stake consensus contribution and the Cocos Foundation. 10% will be distributed to developers and the users through events like airdrops and development funding. 8% will be used to create working relationships with strategic partners such as blockchain ecosystems. 3% will reward the advisors of the projects, and then the final 22.4% will exchange with institutional investors for the project funding. Up next is the technology. Cocos BCX is a blockchain gaming platform for developing, operating, and managing both assets and gaming applications across all blockchain platforms. Cocos BCX includes a software framework for multi-system blockchain development, an integrated development environment, or IDE, for users to create dApps and D-assets, and a blockchain based on the Graphene Framework, which has been customized for high-performance applications, which they've been calling the Cocos chain. I just mentioned that Cocos uses the Graphene Framework, so let's pause for a minute. What is the Graphene Framework? Well, it is a blockchain framework that uses delegated proof of stake for its consensus. It's an open source blockchain technology primarily written in C++. Graphene's source is available in numerous variations as it's been forked and adapted a lot of different times. It was developed in a manner that makes it adaptable to many different use cases. Some projects that you may have heard of that use the Graphene framework would be BitShares, Steemit, and EOS. Their white paper states that the platform will offer multi-chain interoperability in addition to their token and contract conversion gateway. For instance, Cocos BCX will support the storage of smart contracts and data on IPFS in the next phase of development. Let me pause again here quickly because I myself had to do some Googling. IPFS stands for Interplanetary File System, and it's an open source, peer-to-peer, distributed hypermedia protocol that aims to function as an all-encompassing file system for all computing devices. Further down the rabbit hole we go. So what is hypermedia? Hypermedia is just another name for everything that we see, hear, and interact with on the internet, meaning information that includes graphics, audio, video, plain text, and hyperlinks. So the moral of the story is that Cocos wants to use IPFS to help support their smart contract storage. Sounds like a lofty goal, but it also sounds like a great idea. Their Integrated Developer Environment, or IDE, is a visual, script-based, and data-oriented content production platform where developers can directly create and deploy games and applications on multiple blockchain systems. This will be done by developers using Cocos software development kits, which will basically allow developers to not have to cope with the complexity of different blockchain systems. I would have to say one of my favorite features of this project is their concept of contextual circulation of game items. They state that they know how many in-game items are used almost the same way amongst other games. For example, weapon, food, and clothes always have somewhat of the same role. To make the games more fun and to reduce the redundancy of asset production, an item can be traded into and used in other games under similar contextual narratives. I used to play a lot of video games in the past, and I still do here or there when I actually have time, but I think it would be so cool to be able to bring different items into different games. The Cocos consensus algorithm is based on delegated proof of stake, or DPoS. The Cocos chain is designed at a theoretical throughput of 100,000 transactions per second, and it's able to meet the system requirements for multiplayer online games. They state that they've observed and tested 3,500 TPS with block intervals of 3 seconds. That brings us to present day. In 2018, they announced partnerships with the crypto-based project Nebulous. If you are curious about that project, I did a review video a while back and you can go check it out. They also have partnerships with NeoGame, Ontology, EOS, Loom Network, Kingsoft Cloud, and Cell Evolution. So clearly they're not messing around. What's going on in the future? Well, on the roadmap for Q4 of this year, they have the Cocos BCX beta main launch listed, as well as starting development on the next phase of the Cocos BCX chain, creating the entire game on-chain, and also starting development of asset exchange for game items. On to the pros. I have no personal experience with creating video games, but I have played a lot in my day. I can honestly say that the project seems like a great use case to streamline the creation of games, but also allow for more crossover interaction. And the idea of crossover interaction I think is pretty amazing, and I also think, again, it's going to be very useful, and I think people would really appreciate it. Also, they're already extremely well established, considering they're a company with a massive community of developers at their disposal. They absolutely have an advantage by being known in this space as the real deal and having that name recognition. On to the cons. This one I would say is probably more of a hurdle than a con. But I always say that we're going to get people into crypto by making it seamless so they don't even know that they're using the technology. I know that the team states that they plan to make the platform easy for developers who have no blockchain experience to use it, but I hope that that's truly the case. Again, I have no experience with coding or anything like that, but what I do know is making people move from something that they're comfortable using to something that they're not is not an easy task. But I think this is a pretty awesome project, and it's a shame at the moment that the average person can't participate in some kind of public sale. Final thoughts. All in all, I think the project is going to be very useful. I like the idea that they're bridging the gap between gaming and making game assets actually exist on the blockchain, while also making the whole process of onboarding developers into the ecosystem easier, which is awesome. Not to mention this project is coming from a company that's already situated and well known for their game development. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they progress, and this is definitely something that I'm going to be keeping my eye on. Anyway, that's it for me today, everyone. I want to thank you guys for the support. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all soon. Hey everyone, if you like this video and you want to see some more content that's similar, go on my playlist or get lost in my channel. I've got a ton of other videos covering a wide range of topics, and as usual, thanks for watching.